My viewers, good afternoon and good evening, depending the time you're watching me. Okay, this is my back pattern and this is my front pattern. If you see, they are together, the same paper. Okay, from here, the normal pattern, you take 2 cm round your paper. Take 2 cm round your paper. Then from these 2 cm that you take around, from the midpoint here, measure 3 cm down. For normal pattern is 3 cm, but this I just took 5 because it's not a normal pattern. I took 2 cm down. I took my 5 here. So it's normal 3 cm down. From this 3 cm that you took down, you take another 3 cm down, depending on how fat the person is. For somebody that's a normal person, normal body, you take 3 cm down for your shoulder line. From this 0 point, this 3 cm, from this 3 cm, you get your back line, your bust line, your waistline, also your hip line. So my neckline is only 7. This is my neckline. So I measure 7 from my neckline, and that 7 I make a straight line down. Then from this my 7 I measure 2 cm up. That 2 cm, from that 2 cm I measure my shoulder down to here. My shoulder is normally 2 off, so I measure 2 cm. This is where my shoulder is, which is normally 12. Then I just measure another 2 cm out for ease. Then I connect my shoulder. Then at my back line, this is where my back line is. From my back line, I measure 3 cm down. That 3 cm I measure down, I took it down to where my bust line is. My bust is normally 25, but as I said, this one is it's not a normal pattern. So for normal pattern, you measure your where your bust is and you connect it. So for my dart, I measure my half back. My half back will give me this. My half back is 10. So I measure 10 from my back line. From this, measure 10 from the back, this 10. Then you can take either 5 or 10. I took 5. Then from here is 12 and this is 15. Then I connect it. That's for the back. Okay, this one you can connect from it. Since it's your neckline, you can connect it. Finish. So for my front line, I took, this is my point, this is my neckline. So I took 7. As I said, my neckline is always 7. I took 7 down. From here I took 4 for shoulder, and I took 7 for my neckline too. So I connect it. 7 here and 7 here. Then I connect it. My shoulder goes like, okay, this is my chest line. To get chest line, you measure from your bust line. This is my bust line. When you measure 4 cm up for your chest line, from your bust line, measure 4 cm up. That's for your chest line. Then you measure your chest. My chest is 20, so I took half, which is 10. Then once you take half the 10, you minus your that. Okay, for me to get this, okay, this is my nipple point. Measure your nipple point from your shoulder. From your shoulder to your nipple point. But anything that it gives you there, you drop it. If it's 24, you drop it. Okay, like here, I measure 24. It's just a measurement. I measure 24 for my nipple point. From that, my nipple point, I measure 2 cm in and connect it down. So I stop here. This line, nipple point stop here. But I measure 2 cm down so that I can be able to connect the 3 lines. I measure 2 cm down. Then my dart is 8. I measure 8 from here. From here I measure my 8. From here I measure my 8 cm for my dart. I mark it. Then from there I connect it down to the 2 cm below the bust line. Then this line here is the true bust line. After your measurement, you measure your true bust line. That's when you have this line. It's not everybody that do this, but you can also try. So this is my back chest, my front, not back, my front chest, half of it is what I measure here. That half here, I connect it. It's like two. Can you see one is bigger than one? So it can be two, it can be 1.5, it can be one, depending on how the person is busting. Okay, you now connect it. Then this is my nipple point. It does not match touch with this one. So if eventually it touch this point that is two, you can, what you can do is you can measure 2 cm down and measure 3 cm up. Yes, so that this line, two line does not meet. When you want to cut it, see, you won't be pointing. You see some people will wear brace and the nipple will be pointing. No, when you're sewing, you'll be pointing. No, so you make it, take it down small. Then when you're cutting it, you take 1 cm down like this, 1 cm by the side, so that you connect it down like this. You understand? If you want to mark it here, you should be able to connect it down so that it doesn't touch this line. Okay, so my hips, this is how I got my hips. My hips plus 2 cm, I connect it to my waist. I will tell you in another video how to get your waistline exactly fitted. So I now connect it to my shoulder. I don't connect it, sorry, to my bust line, where my bust stop. So that is it for now.